I have a video today to share my manga that I've picked up the past month or so, as well as some merch that I've gotten. So a couple of fanzines and prints that I have off screen, and then at the end of the video, I'll take the camera over to my bookcases and share some of the pins that I've gotten over the past month as well, because I have already put those pins on pin boards. So I'll go through everything else before I head over to my shelves to show off those pins. So for manga, I have 8 volumes, and this is all the manga that I've gotten from mid-January to mid-February. So not too much, mainly just pre-orders and then a couple of new volumes that I wanted to add to my collection. So starting off, we have Rainbow Days Volume 8, a shoujo series that follows a group of boys in high school. Not these boys, a different group of 4 boys, as they're each having different crushes and pursuing different romances. The last volume, as well as this volume, have had side characters on the cover, but I'm already, I believe, 2 volumes behind reading, so now 3 volumes behind. I have read this whole series before, but I've been rereading as the volumes have come out, and I'm behind on my reread. But volume 8 just came out, and so we're halfway through the series now. It is complete in Japan at 16 volumes, so really looking forward to owning this whole series. I'm so glad it got picked up for an English release. And once I get through all of my current TBR reads for the month of February, I'm hoping in March or April I can catch up on all of my pre-orders that I've gotten and have fallen behind in reading. But Rainbow Days Volume 8. And then next I got 2 volumes of Sand Chronicles, Volumes 3 and 9. So I just recently found out that the mangaka passed away, and I wanted to start collecting this series, Sand Chronicles. I read it about 2 years ago, and I really enjoyed it, but even 2 years ago, this series was heavily out of stock, with, I believe, Volume 10 out of print. So I was really discouraged, and I was thinking I would wait to even try to collect this series until there was some kind of announcement of a reprint. But since then, there has not been any news of a reprint, and I've still just been waiting. But in the meantime, I did get the art book for Sand Chronicles. But after hearing of the manga's passing, I did want to go ahead and pick up this series because it is one that I liked and I wanted to have a piece of her work in my collection. But unfortunately, right now, only 3 volumes were in stock. So volumes 3 and 9, and then I also have volume 1 on the way. So if you're missing volumes 1, 3, or 9, they're in stock on Barnes & Noble, so head over there to get them. But I'm going to be on the lookout for the rest of the volumes that I'm missing. I really want to try to avoid getting library copies secondhand, and a lot of copies that I've seen secondhand listings are really expensive for copies that are not in very good condition. So I'm just going to be patient and try to find copies that I'll be happy with. I am going to be traveling in a few months. So when I'm going to be around areas that have secondhand bookstores, I'm going to try to go into a bunch of different bookstores to just see if I can happen to find some of these volumes that are hard to get a hold of. But I forgot to mention Sand Chronicles. It follows a girl who goes through a tragic event young in her life, and then it follows her throughout her adolescence and into adulthood, kind of showing how that tragedy really affected her whole life and her mental health. But really an emotional read. There's definitely some triggering content, so make sure to look at the trigger warnings before getting into this series. But it is completed at 10 volumes, and really hoping I'll be able to own more than 3 of them. So Sand Chronicles. And then I got volume 6 of A Condition Called Love. This is one that I had pre-ordered. So this is a new release, volume 6. The series is ongoing in Japan, but I believe right now they're into volume 13. So I really like this shoujo series. It's a high school romance that follows these 2. They're both the sweetest, most lovable kids, and this is another one that I've fallen behind on my reread as I've been getting the physical volumes because I have read this series digitally. So just like with Rainbow Days, I'm hoping this spring I'll be able to catch up on my pre-ordered volumes that I haven't been reading lately. but A Condition Called Love, Volume 6. Next is a seinen series, Yakuza Fiance Raisei wa Tanagai. I love this series. I really like this mangaka's art style, and another one of her series, Haru's Curse, is a favorite of mine. I love this cover. This is my favorite cover of the whole series so far. This is another one that's still ongoing in Japan. I think the chapters are into volume 9 right now, so we've gradually been catching up with the English releases. But I really love this story. So it follows 2 grandchildren of Yakuza bosses, one in Tokyo and one in Osaka, and she moves to Tokyo to get to know this guy that both of their grandfathers are trying to get to marry each other. And she's really just learning how to take care of herself and how to defend herself being in a new environment, because she grew up always being protected by her family's group. And he is just the most dubious and strange character, but I really like him. But I've really been enjoying this release. I am caught up on the chapters in Japanese, so really looking forward to the content in this volume when I do a reread, as well as 7 and 8 when they come out. It's just really exciting content. But while this is a series that they're getting to know each other, and you would think it would have romantic content, it's not really as much of a romance as it is kind of action or drama. There is some violent content, as there are Yakuza situations that arise, but I've really been enjoying this series. Next is a shounen action series, Tokyo Revengers. It has some supernatural elements with time travel. And so this is the 9th omnibus volume, which is volume 17 and 18. And this is one of the covers in here. This is actually my favorite cover of the single volumes, but this one was chosen for the omnibus. This one I love because of his outfit. I love his outfit. But I agree with the choice that this one should have been the cover. This is a really important character during this part of the story. I don't love that the text and the spine is brown. Just the last couple volumes have been teal, lime green, blue, orange, and then it's just brown. So not looking forward to seeing this volume, along with my others as I get them, of really bright and fun colors, and then there's just a brown mixed in. But this series follows a group of boys, middle school aged and high school aged, that are part of gangs. There is a lot of violent content because of that and because of the conflict between the gangs, as well as the fact that these boys, as they're fighting each other, are all pretty young. But I really love this story. I love this series. It is complete already in Japan at 31 volumes, so we're almost 2/3 through the releases now to catch up to the Japanese release. Just 6 more 2-in-1 omnibuses to go, and then the final volume 31. I'm really not looking forward to having the final Tokyo Revengers volume 31 and just having a skinny one, so I'm hoping they'll surprise us at 7 Seas and maybe include some bonus content with that final volume so that it will be the same size as the rest of them, but I kind of doubt they will, and I'm not holding my breath for it. But happy to have this one and looking forward to the next one, of course. And then volume 8 of Solo Leveling. I'm really happy to be collecting this series now in the physical volumes. I just recently, last fall, read through the whole series digitally and really enjoyed it. So recently picked up volumes 1 to 7, and then this was a pre-order for volume 8. I'm really looking forward to rereading this series in the physical format, but I'm gonna wait until I have more volumes so that I can just do a binge read through it. But this is a manhwa series. This guy here on the cover is the main character, and I really like him. I really like, right from the start, just his development right in the first couple of chapters. I really like his personality and his character growth through the series. And I feel like as he becomes more powerful and more powerful and more powerful as the series goes, I feel like he deserves it because he works really hard to achieve those things. But through the whole read of this series, I just really enjoyed the story and was just really engaged the whole time. I haven't read a lot of fantasy action series, so this was a first for me of reading this kind of genre, and I really enjoyed it. And then the last volume of manga that I have is No Touching at All, which was gifted to me by a friend on Instagram. Thank you, Gigi. So this is a one-shot. It is an 18+ title, so it does have mature content. But this is a one-shot that does have a sequel, one shot to follow, and I'm looking forward to getting that one as well. Both this one and the next one are workplace romances with drama between the characters, and maybe you recognize the art style. It's from the same mangaka that did Twittering Birds Never Fly. But I'm excited to now have something from this mangaka in my collection. I do have their 10th anniversary fan book in my collection, but I did want to get some of their manga in my collection as well. But I'm planning to do a read through of this volume as well as the sequel volume once I get that sequel in the mail. And then lastly for books, I got 3 fanzines. I think at the start I said 2 fanzines, but it's because it's for 2 series. But so this first one is a Haikyu fanzine called A Monster's Ball. I've been really excited through the whole pre-production and production of this fanzine. It is a lot of fan art inside, as well as fan stories. So, really looking forward to getting into it. I have not yet read any of the content, though I have gone through several times and looked at the fan art. I think this is my favorite illustration in it because I love Omi. And here we see him arm wrestling with his cousin. But this whole fanzine is focused on Team Japan, which is at the very, very end of the manga series, Haikyu. And in the manga series, it doesn't really get a lot into this content. So, of course, these artists and writers took liberties with the scenes that they drew and these stories, I'm sure. But it's because we want more. We want more. So I'm happy to have this one now. I do have one other Haikyu fanzine that I have pre-ordered, and it is kind of an AU fanzine about all of the characters as adults, but then they are all idols. So really looking forward to getting that one. Some of the little teasers they've put out of the artwork, I'm really just looking forward to seeing all of the characters that I love on stage with jewelry and flashy clothing. And then there is one more fanzine that I haven't pre-ordered yet because I'm waiting for the pre-order window to start. That is one based on these two, Omi and Atsumu, and it's more of a ship fanzine focused on Sakuatsu content. And since Omi is my favorite character, I'm really looking forward to lots and lots of art of him as well as my favorite Haikyu ships. So, but I forgot to go through some of the little extras that I got with this fanzine. So a print of the front cover and then a print of the back cover. And then this little Ushiwaka sticker. And then this little Polaroid style fan art print of these 3. So really happy to have that fanzine now. And then these next 2 are 2 volumes. So volume 1 and volume 2 of One Piece Feast. And I'm so happy that the organizers of this fanzine did a reprint because I was so late to finding out about these. The volume 1 was released years ago, and the pre-order for volume 2 was in 2022, with the fanzines releasing the end of 2023. So I was just really hoping that when they released their leftover stock that I would be able to get a hold of at least this one. And then they announced that they had also reprinted some of the first one. So I made sure to snag both of them. But just like this one here, these fanzines have a lot of fan art. But what's cool about these ones is that they also have a lot of recipes. So just lots of fan art, but then recipes that relate to the series, relate to the different arcs or characters, and then just like content about the dishes, which I love because I love cooking. And then the other thing that went through my brain was Sanji is my favorite character in One Piece, and he is the chef of the Straw Hats, so I was thinking he will be featured a lot in these books, and I was right. It's not all about him, but he is in a lot of the illustrations, which makes me so happy. But just a lot of really fun art, recipes. I haven't gone through and read all the recipes yet, but I'm looking forward to it so much. And then there are little dialogue sections between different characters when they're on different islands. I just love it. And the second one. And I'm really happy too that they're the same size and height and they're perfectly aligned. So just aesthetically, they're very pleasing. But this one too, exactly the same in the style and layout. Lots of fan art, little sections with recipes, little conversations between random characters on different arcs, and then dish reviews. But just, I love it. Sanji! But I've already flipped through both of these so many times, just appreciating the fan art. But I'm going to be enjoying these two fanzines for a long time. But then I also got these little thank you cards that came with it, as well as this little brassiere menu, which is such a cute little touch. As well as a napkin from the restaurant. So, I just was really impressed with this zine and just the way that it all turned out. I was really, really happy with it. And then just like with the Haikyu fanzine, I do have more of these One Piece fanzines on the way, not from this group that did the Feast zine, but I have a Zosan zine on the way, as well as a One Piece fanzine that is focused on mythology and artwork and stories with the characters in One Piece being characters from mythology. And with that one, I've been really looking forward to it because of all the previews that I've seen on Twitter of some of the art that's going to be included, as well as just the cover itself looks gorgeous. So this is all of my manga and my fanzines that I've gotten over the past month. And now on to merch. So first I have an order of stickers that I got from an artist on Instagram that I follow. And on their business card, they have Sanji. But then I'll just go through them. Little Sanji. I love this one from Egghead Island. Him peeking through the wall. From Wano. A little flower, Sanji. And then a little thank you sticker. And then from another artist that I also follow on Instagram, the last time they opened their shop, I did make a big order, and I'll put a link up to that haul video where I go through all of those prints and the fan book that I bought from their shop. So when they announced they were going to open their shop again, I was really excited because I didn't want to miss any of their new art. But then I wasn't sure if their new art was going to be on the shop yet, or if they were going to wait till after the convention season to then add the art this fall maybe. But so when they opened their shop, I went on, and it was the same stock as last time when I made my last order. But there was one print that I regretted not getting, so I got it this time. And that is this Hancock print. I really loved this art from them, and I would have gotten it last time in my first order from them if it had been available as a 5x7 or a 4x6, but they only had it in like 8.5x11 or 8x11. So I passed on it the first round, but then since then, my husband has been reading One Piece. He's in the Wano arc right now, so he's almost caught up, but his favorite character is Hancock, so of course I had to get this for him so that he could put it on his shelf with his collection, and I just love it. And next is a set of official prints that I got from the series Dangerous Convenience Store. This series has ended in Korea, so I was really late to being able to get any official merch, but I was able to buy these secondhand, and I'm really glad because I do really like the main character and his romantic interests. I just feel like these prints, he's so good looking, but then also just really like these designs. I really like how romantic these two look, and I don't believe this is one that's in the series. And I had seen this one before, and a friend had asked me when they were making an order, do you want this one? I believe it was a larger version of it though, because this is postcard size. And I was like, no, I don't think so. But then now that I'm collecting the series physically with the English releases, I really regretted that I didn't have any of the official merch. So really, really happy I was able to find these secondhand and at a reasonable price too. I found that recently as I've been doing some searching that a lot of the secondhand manhwa official merch listings that I've found are so expensive just because once they sell out from the events where they're being sold, the people that have them, it's like they have gold and they know it. And so they charge like 15 times the price that they were originally sold or more. So I'm just glad I was able to get a hold of these ones. I was told that these two were not postcards that could be bought. They were randomly given with orders as they reached certain purchase amounts. So glad I was able to find secondhand copies of them. And then lastly, I made an order of fan art of Toji from a shop that I've ordered from a few times that I just love the art that they sell. It's a shop that is based in the US, but they sell art from one of my favorite Toji artists in different sizes, holographic, thermal, as prints and as shikashi boards. But so two of the prints I do already have up on my bookcases, so I'll put up a couple pictures. But so one of them is art that I had already gotten that design, but it was the thermal photo card. And so this one is with the thermal topping removed of Toji with like a shimmery finish on it, and I just love it. And then the other one is a smaller print variation of another one that I wanted that she included for me. The other version that I did want was this one, which is the same design but a little different with holographic and a different background. And then the main reason for this order was for this shikashi board with the holographic edging. But I love this one. Toji's tattoo. He looks so cool. And this was actually available when I had made my last order from them. But I was thinking, this is kind of big. Will I have space for it? And then I regretted not getting it. So I wanted to make sure to get it before it sold out. So I'm glad to have it. I believe that in this style, there's also a Gojo, Geto, and Nanami version where they just are kind of gangster-fied. But really happy to have this one now. But so that's everything for my books and my stickers and prints. So now I'll take you over to my shelves and just quickly share all of the pins that I've gotten over the past month or so. Okay, so on my Yona of the Dawn shelf, my new pin is a little chibi Shinah, and can you spot him? The little tiny chibi? I'll zoom in on him. Look how tiny he is! But I'll try to get a shot where there isn't glare on the gold. But I'm really happy with this little pin. It's tiny, he's so cute and precious. But I just have him propped here on this little edge of the magazine issue that I have because he's too small to go on the pin stands. But for now, I'm just going to have him tucked in little places until I find a better permanent spot for him. And then next is my JJK shelf where I have a lot of my fan art, my key animation books, fanzines, and my pin board. So I shared 4 of these pins in my last pin mail video, and since then I've gotten 3 more. So these 3 right here, I'm really happy with them. I don't know if you can tell, but this one here is by the same artist who did the Shinah chibi pin. So now I have both Toji and Shinah in their design. I also got this husbando pin by a pin maker who makes a lot of designs inside this little shape. I have not been able to get a hold of any of Sanji's because they're really expensive, but I had missed the drop for this one because I think it was an exclusive drop for their Discord members or the Patreon members or something, but I was able to get a hold of one secondhand. And then this one here I had pre-ordered and just got him. Oh, and then from this artist who did this one and the Shinah, I also got these little filler pins of little heart bubbles so that I could just make some pins extra cute. So this little Toji look up chibi pin is extra sweet now because he has a little heart bubble. So this is currently my Toji collection. Okay, and then now to my Sanji shelf and my Sanji pin board. I have some new Sanji pins that I've gotten over the past month. So on the last board, I showed a couple of those heart filler pins. So I got 3 more and I'm going to put them on my Sanji shelf, but I just have them tucked here for now because I haven't pulled my board down and I don't want to accidentally knock anything over trying to press anything onto the board because it's just kind of balancing here leaned against the back of the bookcase. But my newest Sanji pin, so I actually just got this one today, this little Sanji head. I'm so happy I got him because I already had his black nickel variant, so now I have both his gold and black and white. I also got this flower chibi pin of little Sanji. I actually got 3 of these because they were so tiny and cute and I wanted to sprinkle them around on my board. So got those. In my last pin mail video, I did share these two that I got, the gold Sanji booty pin in his blue shirt, and then the one with pink dyed metal. And then in addition to these ones, I got a second one of the blue shirt. So I had pre-ordered these ones, and then when the in-hand extra pins were being sold, I got an extra of this blue one, and then an additional variant, this glitter shirt, pink chrome variant, and I love it. I love that I just have Sanji's crawling all over my board, and a couple more Sanjis down here, and then a few other new pins that I got. So this one back here in the corner, this pink one. I couldn't remember which one I had pre-ordered, and I was thinking I had pre-ordered the gold variant, and I was relieved when I double-checked my order when they were about to ship it out that I had gotten gold. I think gold is my favorite metal for pins, and then I do also really like black nickel as well. So I got that one. And then over here, sorry for the shaky camera. So I got this little Chibi Egghead Island Sanji, and then this little filler pin of, I guess he's not in his raid suit because you can only see his little head, but he is, as you can see from his hair and his mask and his ears. So little tiny Sanji head. And those are all my new pins. So my current setup, I did recently upload a YouTube short that was me putting all of these new pins on the board. So I kind of wish I had remembered to film my pin mail before I had put them on the board. So sorry again for this shaky camera as I just was trying to zoom in and show them. But I'm happy with my setup for now. That's everything from my haul today. These volumes of manga and fanzines, and then those prints and stickers and pins that I went through as well. Hope you enjoyed watching. My next video is going to be a recent Japan haul from my proxy service Nyokyo that I actually filmed a few weeks ago, but gonna get that one all edited up after this one is uploaded. And then following that will be my manga collection overview video. It is my 2-year anniversary this month on MangaTube, and just like last year, I'm gonna celebrate by going through my collection with all of you and showing where it's currently at. So hope you will stick around for that. But hope you enjoyed watching me go through everything, and I'll see you again soon in another video. Thanks for watching.